Are we good? Okay. All right. Buenas tardes, estudiantes. Vamos a continuar con imperfecto. So yesterday we started somewhat going over imperfect. We looked at how to conjugate the regulars and irregulars. So when you walked into class today, you received a small paper with a verb on it. On the bell work, it says to read your verb silently and to conjugate that verb in the imperfect form. So you could have looked in your notes, in the foldables we made the other day, or asking your discussion partners that are right next to you. What I want you guys to do now is after you figured out how to conjugate that in the imperfect form, I'm going to call your verb. And once I call your verb, I want you to tape that verb, bring it up, put it under AR, ER, IR, depending on what verb you have, and conjugate that verb in the yo form and imperfect form. But if you come up, I want you to also say, this is my verb, it's an ER verb, and it's irregular. And then you conjugate it. Or this is my verb, it's an IR verb, it's regular, and then conjugate it. So I want you guys to tell the class whether it's regular, irregular, what verb it follows under, and to conjugate it in imperfect form. Is that understood? Okay. So let's begin. Let's start with our first verb, estar. So go ahead and tape your verb.
Estar. And it is regular.
It is regular. Can you conjugate that verb in the imperfect form?
Yo.
Here's a pen. You could write it down.
Right here?
Or underneath it. That works. Estaba. Yo estaba.
Yo estaba.
Muy bien. All right, let's do the second verb. We're going to do hacer.
Hacer.
Yep, your verb. And how do you conjugate that in the form? Can you write it down on the board too?
Conjugate it. Yo hago. Hacía.
Close.
hacía?
Yeah, hacía for imperfect verb. ER is always IA con acento. There you go. Perfecto, sí. Muy bien. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's do ver.
It's irregular.
It is irregular. Now how do you conjugate ver? Veía. Muy bien. All right, two left. Let's do salir. Muy bien. Is it regular or irregular?
It's regular.
Regular. And how do you conjugate salir?
Salia.
Muy bien. See?
Is there a?
There is one little
a
accent
slash
on the
or-
I. Yeah. Yep. Always an accent in the ER, IR verbs. And our last one, ear. Ear.
Irregular?
It is irregular. And how do you conjugate that?
Leyva.
Eva. Muy bien. All right. It looks like you guys have a pretty good grip on how you conjugate those verbs and what those irregular verbs are. But to review really quickly, let's review on what the imperfect means. What is the definition of the imperfect tense? Can someone tell me?
Future tense? Or?
Yes. You have it?
Do you want me? You can continue.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't. I think I got ahead of myself.
A past event that doesn't have like a ending.
Yeah, it's a past event that reoccurs often, or maybe a habit that you used to do in the past. And what about our three irregular verbs? Can someone tell me what our irregular verbs are?
Ver.
Ver, muy bien. Ir.
And ser.
And ser, muy bien. All right, so now we're going to jump into our first activity. With this activity, you guys could use your conversation partners, which is partners of two, and fill out this worksheet. It is a fill in the blank. You guys do have a word blank box up there to help you figure out what verbs go in what blank. And I'll give you about 5 minutes to go over that with your discussion partner. Feel free to talk.
Ya, yo tenía porque yo
me contaba, quiero muchas mis favoritas, mis hermanos y yo. Mis favoritas preferíamos. Mis favoritas eran.
okay.
Is there also an accent over the I and E?
Yeah, there are. Oh, and íbamos, there is not an accent on that one, because that one's a regular verb, so that one does not.
So it's only over like the endings of
Yeah,
them?
basically, íbamos is one of the only regular verbs, there's only 3 of them. So this
Oh,
one has an
right.
accent, this one does not have an accent.
Weird.
So I guess it's just one of those weird things that follow us through those Spanish rules.
Sacamos a la, no, sacamos y yo vamos a la biblioteca, ¿eh?
¿En cuál? Which one?
Es un y yo vamos,
Preferimos.
Alright, it looks like everyone's either done or very close to being done. So let's all gather back together as a class. We're going to go over these answers following this lovely poster board that I've created. So, because I am short, I might stand up on here. Alright, so questions number 1 and number 2 is basically one sentence. Can I have one student volunteer to read sentence for number 1 and number 2 for the answers? Yeah?
Okay. Do I read it and with the
Just,
answer?
yeah, with the whole sentence.
Okay. Cuando yo tenía 5 años, mi madre contaba muchas leyendas.
Muchas leyendas. Perfecto. All right. Now let's do, can someone read answers to number 3 and number 4?
Mis favoritas eran las leyendas aztecas porque yo quería ser un guerrero valiente.
Perfecto. ¿Alguien conoce qué significa leyendas? Anybody know what that means? Yeah?
It's legend.
Legends, fairy tales, other legends. So he really likes his mother when he was 5 years old for her to read legends to her all the time. So these are ongoing actions. All the time when she was little, his mother would read all these stories when he was 5 years old. All right, so let's go into